All right, so using the second derivative test, if we are given a function y equals f of x such that f prime of 4 is equal to 0 and f double prime of 4 is negative 3, well, that means that at some point, if I were to just draw a quick sketch of it, at this point 4, I've got a 0 slope at that point, and it tells me that it's concave downward. So f of 4 must be a relative maximum. So if I went ahead and used the same thing here, the same function as what we did earlier, I'm going to use the second derivative test, but I'm going to use that based on my first values and seeing when they equal 0. Okay, so that's the derivative, the first derivative there. So what I want to do is set this equal to 0, which means that I have the sine of x is equal to the cosine of x. So what's great about that is that we know where these are going to be equal to each other. So we know that it's going to occur when x is pi over 4 or when x is equal to 5 pi over 4. So those are the two areas that I need to look at. So that's where I know that the derivative is going to be equal to 0. So if I go ahead and I find the second derivative, this is the negative sine of x minus the cosine of x. What I can do is when I plug these in, pi over 4 and 5 pi over 4, I'm going to go ahead and get different values. So let's go ahead and try it. Let's do y double prime of pi over 4. So the negative sine of pi over 4 minus the cosine of pi over 4. Well, I know that these are both positive, so this is a negative square root of 2 over 2 minus square root of 2 over 2. So what I end up with is a negative number, which means that pi over 4 is a relative max. I need to now look at y double prime of 5 pi over 4, and that's equal to a negative sine of 5 pi over 4 minus the cosine of 5 pi over 4. And what I'm going to get is negative times a negative, or a positive square root of 2 over 2. And the same thing's here, square root of 2 over 2, which gives me a positive value. Just like before, it was a negative value, which means that this one is a relative minimum.